Hello and welcome to a special episode of the Inter Show. Today we are talking about the experience of running an Interclub away the Nerazzurri heartland of Italy. We have a board member, Cristian, from Interclub in London, one of the more successful clubs outside of Italy. Cristian, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Hello.
Hello. And just to start off, can you tell me about the Interclub London? When did it start? Who started it, and so on?
Yeah, of course. The Interclub London was started on 2005, on the 7th of June by Alessandro Messina. He basically brought together a group of guys following Inter Milan and living abroad, of course, because here in London is full of Italians. So they started like this, and the location was La Casa Italiana, which is still his.
On the Clerkenwell Road, I believe, in London.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's in Clerkenwell Road.
And was there any particular reason why it started?
Well, as I said, it was just to gather a group of people. In that year, Inter was having a tour in UK. They had a few friendly matches, so they were able to follow the team, around the region.
And how many members roughly do you have at the moment?
Around 100.
Very good. And are you all Italian? Are you from the UK or from a range of different countries?
Well, the club, the members are quite mixed. So there is people with Italian origin but born here. There is English people, pure English people, and of course, there's the vast majority is Italian people. There are people which are members, but they are not in London, so they just join the club just for the passion and love for Inter, and time to time they come over to watch a match when they're around. But there's people from Scotland, there's people from other cities in UK. Yeah.
Excellent, good. And what are the difficulties in terms of running a successful Interclub away from the Nerazzurri heartland of Italy? I've personal experience of being involved or being a member of an Interclub in the Bergamo region. And obviously it's much easier, I would imagine anyway, it is easier for them to gather members together because they're so close to Milan and so close to the football club. Are there any particular difficulties in running an Interclub in London and away from Italy?
Well, for sure, not being in Italy or nearby the place is quite difficult for communication. It's difficult because there are, this postage thing that we need to go through for our membership cards or for our kits. That they always come rather late because it takes time to come from Italy, and of course we would love to be watching Inter at San Siro every Sunday, but unfortunately we can't make it every Sunday.
And how do you overcome some of the difficulties? I mean, obviously it's almost impossible to be at the ground every week. But what about in terms of getting the packages, in terms of meeting the regulations that are set by the Interclub organisation?
For the regulation, it's fine because it's pretty much the same, and we don't have much difficulties with it. For the staff and the membership cards and the things, our members are pretty used to it, so they know that you always come around Christmas time. So we just meet a few days before when they come. We assemble the kit and we just make them ready for when they come to watch a match. They can start to collect either the membership card and they kit, they gadgets from Inter. Some of them, as I mentioned to you, some of them that are living away from London, they will get it posted.
Excellent. And do you hold any special events? I know that you've already said that you attend matches. How often do you attend matches, or how often does somebody from the club? How often would somebody from the club be present in Milan?
Well, there are people who is actually from Milan. So the United region town is Milan. So when they go back home for any holiday, they have a chance to go and see Inter at the ground. Personally, I try my best to go at least 2-3 times a year, whenever I have holidays available and availability of tickets, because of course we want to go when there are big matches and tickets are not always available. And this year, basically all members at the stadium are taken, so all the membership at the stadium are taken. So I believe this year will be even harder because Inter fans are populating San Siro incredibly.
And are you from Milan yourself, or are you from another region of Italy?
I'm from the opposite. I'm from Puglia, the hill of Italy. It's a very southern east.
Around Bari, Lecce, that kind of...
Yeah. Yes, indeed. So when I go home, it makes very hard for me to get to Milan. In fact, when I want to watch Inter, I go straight to Milan, weekend, and then come back.
Excellent, good. And what kind of special events do you hold? I know that your headquarters is at the Casa Italiana, but what kind of special events do you host throughout the year?
So what we generally do is definitely a few dinners. So like a Christmas dinner. We're planning to do a pre-season dinner, or just in the first 2-3 matches this year. Last year we had Nicola Berti invited at the club because they were around here. I think it was for the anniversary. And this year we attended the match against Chelsea legends in memory of Ray Wilkins, and Inter gave us a chance to meet the players. So a small group of the club, we were hosted at the hotel for like an hour to meet Inter Forever team, and it was great. It was amazing indeed.
I've seen that your profile picture on WhatsApp is of yourself with Zanetti. That must have been quite an experience. Was he friendly? How did things go with him?
Yeah, the picture was just before I started to cry, so I could take. I still had a presentable face. Now, besides jokes, Zanetti was absolutely friendly, open to hug, open to have a picture with everyone. Personally, I probably had like 20 pictures in total of that day. 10 are with him because I was going round and round, and every time I met him, I was like, Captain, can I hug you? Can I have a picture with my camera, a picture with my phone, a picture with somebody else, but with you as well? So no, it was extremely friendly, but I have to say all of them were extremely friendly. They were talking to us. The week after the Chelsea match, Inter Forever was in Norwich, and was actually our last season game against Lazio, which we all know how it was incredibly great and got us to the Champions League again. And so the actual president of the Interclub London went to Norwich, and they hosted him for lunch, and they invited him to sit in a bench during the game. So he's got massive pictures. He was sitting with Materazzi. Ferry was the coach. So he was there. It was a great experience. And he also made for the match in the evening.
Excellent. Well, hopefully at some point they'll come to Ireland and I'll get the opportunity to go and experience some of that. What is Casa Italiana? Is it a restaurant? Is it a cafe? Is it an Italian cultural centre?
I would say it's a cultural centre, yeah. So it's during the week, it's nothing more than a Italian bar, I would say, but where all, elderly people will gather to play cards and drink, popular drinks that you have in the afternoon, like a glass of wine or one amaro or some sambuca, and of course coffee. It is used for religion purposes as well, because they do kind of parties for baptism, for weddings, for this kind of recurrence, because there's an Italian church just next to it.
Excellent. It seems I've spoken a little bit about myself and my Irish background. I'm from Wales, but my background is Irish, and growing up, certainly in my late teens, early 20s, I spent a lot of time in Irish cultural centres, in the likes of Chester and Liverpool. So I can imagine the kind of place it is. It sounds fantastic. What have been, other than the Inter Forever event, what have been the particular highlights of the club so far?
Well, probably, for us, meeting Zanetti, this kind of, people that made a dream, because that day there were Materazzi, Kivu, Balta Samuel, Toldo. So these are all players that, were part of the squad in 2010. So we will be, linked with them probably forever. And I hope my children, one day when I will have some, they will know about them. So that was probably the best. But, we had massive moments in the club when we watch matches, like the match against Lazio last year was kind of incredible, because we were celebrating after the game. I wasn't personally in London in 2010, but I have to believe that must have been great here.
And where did you watch that match?
That match?
The Champions League final.
All right. Well, I was supposed to go to Milan in Piazza Duomo to watch it with my brother, but I fell sick. Happily fell sick that day. I got fever more than 40 degrees, so temperature more than 40 degrees. I had to call the emergency, and they came. A doctor came to my place, and she was like diagnosing me some incredible thing that I've never had before and never after. It was just that day, and she told me, "But do you have red eyes? Why do you have that?" And I was like, "No, don't worry. That is not related to my sickness. That is because I was crying." And she was like, "But why were you crying?" And I was like, "Because tonight there is a football match, and you cry for football." And I was like, "I've been waiting 25 years for this match, and yes, I'm crying for football."
Yeah, I actually made it to Piazza del Duomo, and it was really special. It was from a very early stage. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get tickets to actually go to the Bernabeu. So I decided that to go to Milan would be the best alternative, and it really was a special experience. Have there been any difficulties in the history of the club, and if there have been, how have you overcome these?
No, honestly, since I'm part of it, well, to be completely honest with you, I was just a member until last year, and I think I've been a member for like 4 years, and only this year I got into the the assets of the club, and so far so good. There haven't been difficulties. Nothing major happened. People is pretty nice, and they come, they enjoy the games, they're willing to have a drink, but nothing major happened. No, I don't reckon anything.
Excellent. And I've noticed that you produce your own merchandise. How did this get started, and has it been successful?
Well, a former president, Giorgio, I was told that he decided to go with scarves, and so he ordered like an incredible amount of scarves to be prepared and printed, and we're still selling them. We are thinking to to give them to our members for a discounted price. And it's nice because we have also a banner, and when we go around, when the guys more than me have been around for Champions League and Europa League, I think is a great feeling to expose, your banner and feel part of the club, because at the end, being part of the club and going as a group in this kind of places in Europe and all around the world is just great.
I can imagine that it gives a really good sense of camaraderie and togetherness when you go on away trips. Who is eligible to join the club? You did mention that you don't have to be in London. Who meets sort of the eligibility criteria?
Pretty much everyone is eligible to be a member. I think as a policy, we won't accept membership from abroad, especially this year with Champions League, because it might be just a way to get some tickets, and unfortunately tickets are not, as differently than people can think. When Inter plays abroad, it's very hard to get tickets anyway, even if you're part of the club. So the club is very open. Everybody can come. Everybody is welcome to come and watch the match. If someone is on holiday in London and they support, they can just come along and join us at the club. Absolutely.
And if you arrived into one of the main train stations, for example, in London, the likes of King's Cross or Euston, what would be the easiest way of getting to the club?
From King's Cross is literally one stop, and is with Metropolitan and Hammersmith City Line train towards west, I think. But it's literally one stop. The Farringdon location is very central, so you have a few tube lines and loads of buses to connect to the club. So it's very, very easy.
And how much is it to join the club, and what are the benefits of becoming a member?
So the joining rate is £30, and is. If I'm not wrong, it's 20 for kids, so for under 18. And the benefit is you get the kit, you get a possibility to watch the matches, you get discounts on the official website for merchandising, Inter official website, of course. Then there are a few games where tickets are on pre-sale just for clubs, in which case you can get a better price compared with the actual price of the ticket. And there are a couple of games a season where tickets for Interclub start from £10, so you can get a very good spot in San Siro for like 35-40 quid.
Excellent. And if somebody is listening to this and would like to join, what's the best way of making contact with the club?
The best way is Facebook, is our email address. It's on our website. I think you can find our email address, which is info@interclublondon.co.uk. That's the best way. Also, Facebook channel is very active. We have a Twitter account as well that you can find online. So that's the best way to get in touch with us.
Excellent. And I'll put all these links up onto the Intershow's Twitter page as well. My thanks to Cristian. It's been really interesting finding out about your club. If anybody's interested in joining, you can do so following the advice that Cristian's just given, or there will be details on the Intershow's Twitter page. Again, thanks very much, grazie, and until the next episode, Forza Inter.
Thank you guys. Forza Inter, amala.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.